The move towards open access publishing and scientific research is certainly a global one. However, Latin America or Iberoamérica, a larger community that includes Spanish and Portuguese-language countries in both Europe and the Americas, is using the OA publishing model to a far greater extent than any other region in the world. Iberoamerican scientists especially are committed to the movement as a way to ensure that society benefits from their research. Dramatic growth in repositories. The extent of OA's adoption depends on who you ask, but according to researcher Juan Pablo Alperin in his dissertation, The Public Impact of Latin America's Approach to Open Access, it is evident that the degree of adoption of the OA models is fairly extensive in Latin America, although there are no exact figures. The estimates range significantly, from as low as 51% and one expert claiming closer to 95% of all online journals being OA. However, a report recently published in Spanish by CERLALC, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization Center for the Promotion of Reading and Publishing in Latin America and the Caribbean, uses open-door data to highlight the fact that currently there are 519 OA repositories in Iberoamerican countries, with Spain leading 22%, followed by Brazil 19%, Portugal 10%, Peru 10%, Colombia and Argentina, both with 9%. Regardless of which numbers you turn to, OA's growth in Iberoamerica has been dramatic over the past few years. As an example, the number of OA repositories in Peru went from 8 in 2010 to 48 in 2018. In Argentina, they grew from 6 to 44 in the same time period and from 25 to 99 in Brazil. University presses prefer OA, even for books. A recent study of 140 Latin American university presses conducted by Elia Jimenez Toledo from the Spanish Research Council (CSIC), and Juan Felipe Córdoba Restrepo, president of the Association of Colombian University Presses (ASCUC), reveals that OA is gaining a tremendous interest among university presses as well. For instance, 32% of the university presses surveyed reported that their institutions have specific policies supporting OA, while another 35% are in the process of developing them. Nevertheless, 63% of respondents declared OA publishing programs, which means that university presses are publishing in OA despite the lack of official policies in some cases. Interestingly, OA increasingly covers books in Latin America, not only journals. As is the case in other parts of the world, almost half of the university presses publish books under an OA model. Life Sciences journals defend OA. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the Scientific Electronic Library Online, a network of cooperative electronic publishers of scientific journals on the Internet. Created in Brazil, today there are 13 Ibero-American countries represented in CIELO's journal collections, plus South Africa, with more than 1,200 active journals totaling approximately 750,000 articles. Further evidence of the growing interest in OA and open science in Iberoamerica is the recent declaration in defense of OA issued by a large number of editors of life sciences journals in Spain. Among other recommendations and requests, the declaration urges national research agencies to require their researchers to deposit their publications in institutional repositories and to reduce the emphasis of the journal's impact index as a personal promotional tool. Instead, it suggests that these journals promote new indicators related to the scientific content in articles instead of journal-related metrics. Ultimately, the great diversity of publishing practices and institutional approaches account for the skyrocketing OA movement in Latin America, although regional economic constraints also play a role. Traditional subscription models fundamentally restrict meaningful access to scientific knowledge in this part of the world. On a cultural level, many Ibero-American scientists hold a particularly resolute social commitment to OA, with a desire to lower any barriers between publicly funded scientific researchers and the benefits to society at large. Many researchers in Latin American countries also hope that OA-based dissemination methods for their work will help improve its visibility and impact on a global basis. Victoriano Calodron is Senior Director International Relations at Copyright Clearance Center.